Hello, I am Nicholas Olson, your host,
And I'm Holly Zampa.
and we gladly welcome you to the Creature Comforts podcast. Today we are going to be discussing the wonderful world of pets, as well as how to decide whether an animal friend is a good addition to your life or not. So Holly, tell me a little bit about your experiences owning pets and how has that impacted your overall well-being?
Overall, animals have always had a pretty good impact on me. I've learned a lot just from my experiences with pets, and I have many different benefits from having a relationship with an animal. Right now, my current pet is my cat Meowsers. My relationship with her has grown over the years. We got her in 2014 from a cat shelter. I remember the day we got her. She was in the bottom of the corner of the cage, all alone because everyone adopted her siblings, but no one wanted her. That was because she was a black cat, and obviously there is lots of stigma surrounding black cats due to them generally being considered bad luck. At the time, my sibling was very drawn to her, and after holding about 20 different cats, we decided Meowsers was the right fit for us.
Well, my personal experience with pets as a kid was different. I am able to relate to you in the sense that they always had a very positive influence on my life and overall mental state. I feel a large part of the reason that I love to take care of as many of the pets that I do today is because of not only how bad I saw animals being treated in my youth while in human care, but also due to the fact that I lost my first kitten when I was 12 due to an intestinal disease, after only having her for a few short weeks. She was only a few months old and I had grown really close to her in those few short weeks, so it was really hard on me when I learned that she had passed when I wasn't even home after seeing her completely fine a couple of days prior. Being that was one of my first real primal experiences with death and loss, in general, I think that the experience really shaped me as a person and would really influence the relationships that I would come to have with the pets in my future, as I want to give them the best possible life I can in honor of the life I never got to give her.
Well, Meowsers wasn't my only pet from my childhood. I also had a beautiful golden lab. We decided on the name Butters. She was with me pretty much my whole childhood from the earliest moments I could remember. She truly was my friend, especially in times that I felt very alone. Although she couldn't talk, she expressed lots of emotions through her body language. And her guilty face was my most favorite. She taught me lots of responsibility as I always had to feed her twice a day. She was the most perfect dog all the way until the end. I remember that day distinctly. She started going downhill when she began developing lumps all over her body. One in particular just kept growing bigger and bigger until it impacted her ability to move and breathe. So my mom had to schedule an appointment to put her down. That day, we ate breakfast with her, played with her, gave her lots of snacks and lots of love. Once we took her on our last walk, it was almost like she knew. I remember holding her until she turned cold. This experience taught me a lot about death. It had also taught me that it was not easy to deal with, but it was a necessary part of life and it was okay to accept things that are out of your control. It really gave me a different perspective in the sense that I should not necessarily be sad that she was gone, but be thankful for the moments I had gotten to spend with her while I could.
My current pets, I believe, have taught me the most responsibility. Around 2 years ago now, when I first considered getting my first leopard gecko, Inky, I was worried that having my own pet was going to be way too much responsibility and stress for me, granted everything else that I had going on in my life. While it is completely different for everybody, I found quite the opposite to be true for me, personally. Taking care of Inky on a day-to-day basis always gave me a sense of purpose, as well as a place to take a break from the world outside. Since then, I have learned that an animal friend is a good addition to my life, and have become a proud owner of 3 more reptiles, and still nothing compares to the sense of purpose and the feeling I get when I know that they're happy and well taken care of.
Meowsers was always an amazing addition to my life. She gives me routine to my day and something to look forward to when I get home. It's just like having a friend that never judges you and feels safe by you. One thing I've noticed throughout our bond is that we both do stuff each other enjoy, even though she is a cat. If I feed her, she'll go out and catch me a mouse. Or if she hangs out with me while I get ready, I'll hang out with her and watch the birds out the window. Playing with her also adds enrichment to not only her life, but also my life, as it is interesting to get to see how she thinks and reacts. Not to mention her therapeutic properties, as in her purring, which never fails to put me to sleep. Although having a pet can be stressful at times due to messes, health reasons, or prioritizing your time for your pet, I found that it is worth everything just to have this special bond with an animal.
However, while owning pets can bring some wonderful side effects into your life, it is always best to first consider your immediate circumstances and environment and do plenty of research on how to give your animal the proper care it needs. Taking care of a pet, no matter which kind suits your fancy, always comes down to the time and energy that you spend with that pet, And if you don't have the time or real willingness to take care of that pet, any kind of animal friend might not be as great of an addition to your life as you may initially think, due to the fact that it is your responsibility to ensure that they live the best life that they possibly can.
Thank you for listening to the Creature Comforts podcast, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.